Eminent architect, sculptor, and artist Le Corbusier has rightly said, I prefer drawing to talking. Drawing is faster and leaves less room for lies. The artist is drawing a vertical line in the middle of the sheet, leaving some space at the bottom as well as at the top of the sheet. Now divide this line into 8 equal parts by drawing a horizontal line. After that, draw 8 equal circles in each part. This is the basic of our 8 head theory drawing. The artist draws 2 heads for the shoulders, each head touching the central vertical line. Then the artist draws 2 vertical lines parallel to each other to make a rectangle from the tip of the chin downwards. Then the artist attempts to draw the neck area using half the head. After that, he draws basic lines of shoulder bones on the both sides of the neck, slightly tilted downwards. He draws the lines of the chest line at the bottom of the second head, leaving equal portions on left and right side of the chest line to draw the shoulders. Thereafter, the artist draws a triangle which is pointed towards the center of the third head, touching the shoulder line on both sides to determine the rib cage. After that, he narrows down to pelvic area to the groin area touching fourth head. The artist keeps in mind the equal proportions on both sides while drawing waist and groin area. He again draws similar circular 8 heads on his right side of the paper, exactly equal to the earlier heads. The artist again attempts to draw the line, defining the neck and also making shoulder bones. Similarly, he draws 2 heads below the shoulder lines as he had done earlier. He again draws the vertical lines to create a rectangle and boldly defines the York line. Thereafter, from the end of the second head, he tapers down the fourth head in similar fashion on both sides and draws a line slightly below the fourth head to depict shape of the buttocks. Then the artist draws a line from pelvic to thigh area slightly tapering downwards on both sides as he is drawing the back side of the figure. From the end of the fifth head to the sixth head, the artist draws the back of the knee. Again he redefines the area of the head and jawline as seen from back and draws upper part of the arms. He draws upper arms on the first drawing, which is the front side of the figure, which is adjacent to the center of the rib cage triangle. Then the artist divides the topmost head and adds features of forehead, eyebrows, eyes, hints of the nose, mouth, and chin. At the start of the fifth head, the artist tapers down to drawing the thighs on both sides till the knees and defines the knee. Thereafter, he continues to draw and narrowing his tapering line, drawing the calf muscle of the lower leg to the ankle and downwards towards heel area and the toes of the foot touching the bottom line of the eighth head. The knee line should be at the end of the sixth head and ankle should be slightly below the seventh head. The artist starts to draw at the arm, wrist, and hand below the elbow, touching the 4.5 head. In the similar manner, he attempts to draw the back of the calf muscles and tapering down to ankles and back of the heels. Now he defines the shoulder blades and the spine area, which is slightly above the buttock area. Then the artist draws the arm and hands as seen from the back. Using the same 8 head proportions theory, he draws a head on his left side of the paper using the same proportions on the side pose or the profile, drawing head, neck, arms, chest, rib cage exactly parallel to the frontal drawing, and using the same proportions, he draws the elbow and full arm. Thereafter, he draws a few lines to indicate hip line, and tapering down, he draws the thighs as seen from side to the knee, and then to calf and lower leg till the ankle, heel, and the foot from the side view. The artist adds some touches to indicate the hairlines on all front, back, and side figures. The artist on another sheet of paper draws 7.5 heads in the middle of the sheet. and draws horizontal straight line, defining the shoulder in two heads. He draws a triangle from shoulders downwards which is pointed towards the navel. He then draws two vertical straight lines right from the ends of the shoulder lines to create a rectangle. The artist defines the lower part of the chest and then tapers down to rib cage to waist and adds a few free lines from pelvis to groin area and then proceed on to draw thighs till knees and downwards to calf area and ankles. Then he draws the arms on both sides parallel to the rib area down towards knee area in freehand style. Now adds the shape of the feet with short lines defining the toe. Give some defining touches on the face and draws eyebrows, nose and lips. Parallel to the eyes, draw the ear and adds a few lines showing hairline. Darken the inner thigh area to define muscles till knees and keeps on adding some lines on the sketch of the whole body to determine the structure and muscles. parallel to this erect frontal pose. Again draw 7.5 heads and 2 heads for chest and shoulders, dividing it with half head as neck, then sloping down to collar line. Try to show the upper garment touching the navel and then draws the inner garment worn by the figure. Brief. And divides the length of the thigh from pelvis to the knee downwards. In the similar fashion, divide the arms and shows the joints of the elbow till the wrist. Then, in few strokes, draw the feet. The artist shows the hands and darkens the different areas of the body to demarcate chest muscles and then adds a few lines to draw the face and also defines the navel area or the spine area as seen from the front. Darken the joints of the knees and give darker shades to define the fullness of the figure. Add some darker tones to the frontal first figure and define different body parts and rib cage. Draw horizontal lines against each part and numbers it. And above the head, draw parallel vertical lines to show half head proportion on both sides above the shoulders. After this, draw simple key lines on the left side of the sheet to show the figure in rapid form, each with same proportions demarcated. Fill the gaps between the arm and thighs to add dimensions and shading. Again, in a similar fashion, draw 7.5 heads and add horizontal lines to practice perfection in drawing a male human figure. Repeat the same process again. In fact, emphasize on the different proportions of the body and keep on drawing the male human body as body parts with proper proportions, taking head as a measuring unit. This way, an artist who wishes to draw the erect male human figure should be familiar with the proportions of the body, structure, joints, and muscles, always keeping in mind the ratio of the heads used within the framework of 7.5 heads. Repeated exercises will improve the procedure to draw male human body. And an artist is supposed to remember in mind the different portions of the body taking head as a measuring unit.